Morning. How's it going? I'm coming at you today, the 15th of December. Can't believe it. Wow. Yeah, we're like almost to Christmas, 10 days. This morning, my husband was looking at the weather and we could see the 10-day forecast. So that means you're getting close to Christmas. Of course, it's supposed to be in like the 60s and 70s for the next 10 days here. So we are super warm and sunny, and that's just how California is, unless you live up in the mountains. So, yeah, we're having a good time, and trying to keep myself busy. You know, it's interesting. A lot of years I will, do some shopping online, but this year I think it's everything, and that's kind of strange for me. Besides like buying like chocolate and stuff like that for my kids' stockings, like I'm not buying anything. Like, it's so weird to not go to a store. Yeah, really kind of strange. And so that's me, hanging out, waiting for packages to arrive, and probably need to start doing some wrapping here pretty soon. And yeah. So the other thing that's been keeping me busy is I've been knitting. Now, don't think that I'm like Laura Ingalls here, because I'm like cheater knitting. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these looms. This is how I knit. And I usually start knitting every winter when I'm like, okay, what in the heck am I doing with myself? Because everything with my business slows down in the winter, and especially, the 2 weeks before Christmas and the 2 weeks after Christmas. So I all of a sudden am needing something to do. And so I usually end up knitting a little bit, but I'll show you what I've made because I think it's pretty impressive. This is my one scarf that I've made, and I have fringe on the end. I think it's really cute. I'm gonna give this to one of my friends, and if she's watching right now, she's gonna know that this is hers, but she doesn't know yet, so who knows. Anyway, this is really cute. I think it's adorable. It's kind of like a off-white with little tiny flecks of like brown. Anyway, so there's one, and then that one's totally done. The next one that I started is this green one, which totally reminds me of the green scarf that Laura made for Pa in Christmas at Plum Creek. So there's that. It's pretty much done. I just want to put, I think I'm going to put some tassels on this one too, but make them a little bit shorter. So that's that one. That's going to be for another friend, which she doesn't know. And then I'm going to do one more for my other friend. And it is with, the yarn is actually exactly like this, but it's brown. So those are my 3 projects that I'm going to do. And if I have time, I have some more yarn. This all came about because I was cleaning out my garage, and I had this like a shelf dresser kind of thing inside the back door underneath the stairs, kind of a weird little storage area. And I had a whole drawer full of yarn. And most of the yarn came from my sister Brenda when she moved to Wyoming. And she was like, I got all this yarn. I don't need any of this yarn. Like, will you take it off my hands? Because I'm not moving it to Wyoming. And I was like, sure, yeah, we'll do something with it, And so I stuck it all in there, and it's been like 2 years now. And so I was like, okay, I'm either getting rid of the yarn or I'm making something with it. So here we go. So that's kind of fun. That's what I've been doing while just kind of hanging out. Besides filling orders on Etsy, and baking bread, making cranberry tea. My son and I made Melting Moments last night for the first time, and it's like our family's Christmas cookie. And so they are like to die for, and they do melt in your mouth. So really, that's like all we're doing. This week is the last week of school for my kids, so they're doing finals and whatever. And we're just kind of hanging out and watching movies and cooking. And so is so interesting because every week I never know what the next chapter that is going to be in this book. And so it's just crazy how it lines up. And this next one is about, well, it's called Take a Break. And, it's funny. In the spring, I think starting in January or February, I think I have a thing of yarn stuck in my eye now. How fun is that? In January or February, I started this women's Bible study at my church, and it was all about Sabbath. Not like the Sabbath, like on Sunday, but actually like what is Sabbath, like what is rest, and how do you just rest? Like, say no to things and have a little bit more balance in your schedule and all that. And so here we're in this study for like a month and a half or so, and then all of a sudden COVID hits, and we're all like at home, in shelter in place, and we're like, okay, like, is this what rest is? Like, all of a sudden you are forced to, you can't even say yes to anything because nothing's happening. And so I just thought it was so crazy. And at the beginning, I think the resting part, like doing nothing, was kind of driving me crazy. I don't know if it was driving you guys crazy. And, some of you guys, maybe this COVID time has actually made it more busy, like more busy for your family, more busy for, being home and homeschooling, and like all that is like, you're overwhelmed even more than you were before. For me, it's like, wow, I've just had like, it feels like 10 months or 8 months of rest. Do you ever feel like sometimes you need a break from resting? That's kind of what I'm feeling like right now. Right now I'm feeling like, okay, let's go do something. Like, I don't know what it is, but in my heart, I'm like ready to do something. I don't know if you guys are ready to do something, but regardless, it's 2 weeks before Christmas, and I'm actually so thankful for not having the hustle bustle, not having the parking lots and the lines. Although I will say that sometimes online things run out. It's been a blessing. And my challenge for you today is to take a break. No matter what your schedule is in these next couple weeks before Christmas, see if you can take a break and just truly rest and enjoy time with your family, with whoever it is that you love to hang out with. I know some of you guys can't hang out with people that you want to hang out with. I understand we can't either. But take a break. So we're going to read from Prayer Devotional, chapter 15. Okay, 15. I can't believe it. It's season 5, episode 6, No Place Like Home. Okay, this episode is when the Ingalls, the Garveys, the Olsons, they all live in Winoka. And this is the episode when they decide to go back to Walnut Grove. And I don't know if you remember this, but this is like 4th of July, and the fireworks scene, and the saloon catches on fire, and all that. And Nels Olson is the one who says this quote. And he says, "The first thing I'm going to do is go fishing alone where it's quiet." All right, let me get a drink here real quick. All right, here we go. After living above the Winoka Saloon for months, Nels is eager to return to Walnut Grove for some peace and quiet. We all need time to be alone. Too few of us practice solitude these days. Surrounded by constant interaction and noise, we seldom let our minds rest. Wouldn't we all benefit from a mental break from time to time? My husband has a jam-packed schedule. Most of us do. His commute is the only alone time he has every day. Well, I'd been taking time away since the kids were born. He never had. I knew he would benefit from some solo time where he could think without interruptions or responsibilities. After much convincing, he headed out on his first man weekend. He spent a few days in a cabin near Yosemite all by himself. He could do whatever he wanted, sleep until he woke up and enjoy the silence. From there, he traveled up north to visit a friend from grade school. This guy makes my husband laugh more than anyone else on the planet. And while laughter is not quiet, in a way, it can be just as nourishing and often leads to deep conversations when we have time to connect. I can't tell you how refreshed his face looked as we huddled around him for a welcome home hug. His eyes glistened with life and energy. He let out a deep breath. That was wonderful. I need to do it every year. We all need a getaway. Solitude gives us the chance to be quiet so God can fill us back up. It's difficult to hear God speak over the noise of everyday life, especially in our crazy house. Even Jesus had to get away to hear from his Father. Whether it's hiking through the mountains, walking on the beach, or fishing like Nels, find a place to be alone, a place away from the distractions of life. When we are alone with the Lord, we are able to collect his blessings of peace. And in Matthew 14:23, it says, after he had sent the crowds away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. And when it was evening, he was there alone. Now, the first thing I'm going to say is that most of us, many of us, might be not doing much at home, but we are never alone. If you live with people, you are never alone. The other day I was talking to a friend and I was like, there's nowhere for me to go. Unless you have a really big house, but there's just, my kids are all doing school right now and my husband's upstairs working. So the living room, I kind of claimed the living room for these couple of minutes. But most of the time, it's just constant distractions, even though we are home and pretty much resting. Sometimes I think the only place that I can go to be alone is either the bathroom or in the car in the driveway. So I don't know what your house looks like or how distracted or resting you are being in these weeks. But I just want to encourage you to find some time to be quiet, find some time to be alone, wherever that alone place is. So there's my encouragement for today. And if something brings you joy like knitting, go get a cheater knitter loom. It's so easy. So easy. Or whatever you do to relax, whatever you do to rest. God's with you. We're never truly alone, even though we would like to be a little bit more quiet. So go find a place to hang out with God. Go find a place somewhere in your closet or wherever. Anyway, I hope you guys have a really great day. We're getting close to Christmas, the best time of the year, celebrating the one who came to be with us. So have a good Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye.